right, welcome back. Another episode of the Rough Rigs podcast.
It certainly isn't.
I don't know what we're up to. 60 something.
62.
62.
I'm not feeling good about this episode.
You're not?
No, I'm not.
No, it's a sad
It's
episode.
an episode of mourning.
It is in multiple ways. Actually,
Yeah.
it's
It is.
it
Actually,
is.
didn't even think about that.
And we'll get into that. But yeah, obviously Australia and India played.
Let's get it out of the way, shall we?
Wasn't fun.
Give it to us.
The Indians, they'll be loving this episode, won't they?
Yeah.
They'll be out in force.
We'll have to clickbait them saying greatest nation of all time.
Yeah, we won't be doing that.
Yeah, but they
Bunch
can
of
get
dogs.
They'll still click on it.
Yeah.
Two white fellas talking about the cricket.
Yeah,
They'll be
they
onto
love
it.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's fair.
Sandpaper Aussies always cheating.
Australia.
Australia. Yes. Very funny. Very funny. But I suppose they've earned the right, haven't they? So fuck them.
Should we go through the day's plays?
We'll get there.
Or the innings.
We'll get there.
Plays.
There's plenty to talk about.
There is.
Lots that I don't want to talk about. But we'll get there. Because there are some talking points.
There are.
And I suppose we should talk about them.
The pitchforks are out.
Pitchforks
The
are
old
out.
angry men are turning back into cunts. Game one.
Yep. It's always the way.
Of the summer.
It's always the way. But anyway, there's that. There's a little bit of footy news with signings and stuff, so we'll touch on that a little bit. And there's some big news coming out of Macca's and KFC.
I'll leave that to you.
They've released some new
Big
some
news
new stuff, so that's something to look forward to.
That's good.
But yeah, it's very hot today. It was 37 degrees.
Yep.
So it's cooled down now. We're doing this at night, obviously, and
It has.
it's a lot nicer now. We would not have been wanting to do this a couple of hours ago.
No, that would have been shit.
Yeah.
Plus the rain. It was fucking loud.
I'll tell you what,
here.
because I was working and I went inside just as it was raining.
It's starting to rain now.
Yeah, is it? Is that rain? Is it?
That's rain.
There you go.
The old tin roof.
Yeah. But I went inside just as it was about to rain.
Yep. Perfect timing.
And then the rain fell down, and I thought, "You beauty, it's gonna cool down." I walked back outside after the big storm,
No, it got worse.
and it was hotter. It was hotter before. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Australia, one
Good
of the
on you.
greatest countries when it comes to weather.
Yeah. Up the rain.
Up the rain. Nah, we don't want the rain.
Yeah.
How's your weekend?
Maybe we do. Maybe we do in the upcoming test
Cricket,
matches.
just rain for the next 8
could be.
weeks.
At least something. Get something out of it.
How's your weekend?
Not too bad. Didn't do too much. Just worked. Bit of cricket.
Worked and played.
Not much
Shit ass week for you
Not
guys.
much to talk about.
Sucks.
in the old club cricket scenes. We had
7.
7 players. We had 8 for a little bit.
That's crazy.
But mostly 7. Wasn't too much fun. Lost the toss, obviously. It's always the way. The ones that you want to win.
Of course.
On
the
a hot
hottest
day
of Saturdays this year.
35-degree day. You've
You
got
wanna win
7
that toss.
players. You don't want to be losing the toss and fielding first. But that's exactly what we did. Lost the toss, fielded, and we did really well. Started off terribly. The first 10 overs, they were just hitting it to all sorts.
Of course. Extra gaps.
There's so many gaps around.
Just swing hard.
But we got a couple of wickets, and we really pulled it back, and we bowled them out for 150. And I thought, well, here we go. This could be one of the
Great
all-time wins.
Yep.
They'll be making Netflix documentaries about it and everything.
Yep.
But it is very hard when like 5 of your batsmen, and your good batsmen is like probably 3 of our top 5 were away. So
And you cook from fielding, even if it's
from fielding
1 to 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours, whatever it is.
Yeah, even though we did really well to restrict them, like the boys were spent, like they were running around. They were like they worked hard to keep them to that. So
it's hard.
It took them out of it. Plus, you get umpire decisions that don't go your way.
Yep.
Get given out.
Just average day.
Yeah, probably our best bat gets given out, caught behind for a ball that he missed by probably a metre.
Lovely.
So,
I don't know how teams could appeal for that. If you're being serious, if it was a big gap, like
one of the best umpires in the district apparently. So shows you the standards.
Is he 86?
No, he's pretty young. He was under 50. So
wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Interesting. But it wasn't much fun. We got bowled out for I think maybe 80, something like that. I don't even know if we got that many. But
still a valiant effort, really.
Yeah.
Being cooked in the field to them bat at the end of the day. So big effort.
Yeah. Anyway.
What can you do? Cricket.
It is what it is.
Mike back next week. Next
yeah,
game.
we should have a full team this week. I'm hoping. I thought that this week, but it wasn't the case. So who knows? But
sucks.
Yeah.
We
How'd you go?
We played at Marylands Park.
Mm.
Good old Marylands.
Yeah.
Probably the worst pitch I've ever played on, and it's synthetic, so that just paints the picture.
Yep.
You can literally peel up the synthetic. So
that's always good.
Yeah, spinners. There was sand on the wicket too. I don't know why the fuck there was
just
sand.
a bit of rough.
Dude, this leg spinner was turning the ball more than I've seen any international spinner move that rock. But anyways, we won the toss, so we obviously batted. We scored 140, I think, on the dot. A few of the boys got 48, 49. Dumman, shout out to Dumman, he got 49. Thought he'd reverse lap to attempt a 50.
Nice.
Straight to the fielder.
Yep.
So he thought he was on 47. So he's going for glory. He was going for the 4. And I said, do you want to know what you're on? And he's like, yeah, 47. I said, no, 49. He goes, for fuck's sake. If I had my time again, I'd just dot it down. Yep. Easy single. But we got him into bat after fielding for 3.5 hours, and we got them 6 for 36.
Not bad.
So I took 2, Anush took 2, and VJ and Dumman took 1 each.
So this is a 2-day game?
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Yep. Nice. So hoping we can get on if it doesn't rain. And then if we get them out early enough, we'll go for the outright. Have an hour with the bat. Just have a dirty hack.
Open batting?
Nah. Go last.
Oh.
Actually, I did a randomizer this week. So I kept top 4.
Yeah.
And then from 4 onwards, just randomizer. I still got fucking 11th. It was so funny when I was doing it.
Yeah.
I'm like, surely I might get 6, 7. It got down to me and Ravi and Dave. And I'm like, surely I'm not 11. Then it got down to me and Dave, and I'm like, all right, it's either me or Dave. 11, Dave Schultz. I'm like, you can't. So I still went out at number 11. But yeah.
Just open next week, I reckon.
Imagine how funny that'd be. I've gone from 11 to 1.
Go out, have a swing.
Anyways, yeah, so that's...
Give the old woodworm a...
No, got the JP. Okay. I want to use the woodworm for LMS.
Right.
I want to give it a crack. Anyways, let's get into it.
We've got a really, really good drink of the week this week. I'm really looking forward to this one.
A favourable drink of the week.
I'll tell you what, you've gone out on a limb this time.
The old trustworthy Pepsi Max.
We've had the old, spicy waters and spicy whatever the fuck they are.
Spicy
potions that are from
Bilson's and
the old devil's potions,
cheese,
fucking everything else. But we've gone here now.
There's a lot.
It's the old Pepsi Max, I believe.
Very indie brand, very low budget.
Yeah. Don't think I've seen this one before.
Brand new to the scene.
Yeah. Have a look there for the viewers. You might not have seen that one. I'll tell you what, the can art's outstanding.
Delightful.
It's outstanding. They've changed their can art.
Aren't they sponsoring the Pakistani?
They have for a long time.
They must be a little small...
They have for a long time.
Small business or something.
But they've changed their can art recently.
They have.
Not recently, but, probably 6-12 months ago.
Yep.
I like it.
Yep.
Nice little retro look.
I rate it. Are we giving it a taste, or we're just going to... I don't even think it needs a taste.
I don't know if it needs one, but we'll give it
one. We're gonna get into it. Just know that.
Yeah, I'm
going to go out on a limb here. That's the greatest drink of the week we've ever had.
Oh, that's a big call. That is a big call.
That's fine.
We've had a few good ones.
We haven't had VC yet. Vanilla Coke. Have we had a vanilla Coke?
I don't think we have.
Once that hits, it's all over.
I'll give it a good 8. I'll give it a good 8.
I'll give it a good 9.5. That one.
9.5.
It's close to perfection for me, dude.
Wow.
Pepsi over Coke.
It does the job. I'll tell you what.
It's a good job.
One thing, I don't know if this is a controversial opinion or not, but I'm a strong believer that the Pepsi Max is the only soft drink where the sugar-free version is probably better than the regular version.
I don't even think that's a hot take. I hear that a lot. I like regular Pepsi.
Like everything
but
else,
I get you.
like everything else, you have the
Coke is better. Sunkist is better.
You have the regular version is
full sugar.
Is much better than the sugar-free version. Like, you're making a sacrifice. You're having it for a health option. You're not having it for the taste.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't care about my health, obviously. But I will get a Pepsi Max over a Pepsi purely for the taste and the flavour.
100%. It is a good drop.
Which I don't know why. I don't know why that's the case. I
still
don't know
like
how they've done it, but
I still like an OG Pepsi, but not all the time. I'd rather a Pepsi Max 9 times out of 10.
So I'm not the biggest Pepsi fan. Pepsi on its own, but the Pepsi Max,
it's good.
It does
good
it does things for me.
It does things for you.
So I don't know if that's a common thing or I'm just a bit strange. But
Yeah,
that's
no. I think it's actually
that's where I stand on him.
Popular than you think. That take. I think it's quite. We'll ask the viewers, the listeners, whatever,
the audience.
I
feel like I'm on Millionaire Hot Seat. Ask the audience.
Let's take the audience question. Hey Vanessa, your husband Mark's up here.
Phone a friend.
Yeah. She's got no idea, mate. I'm just gonna lock in A.
You know what I have seen actually, because I don't normally watch Millionaire Hot Seat.
Yeah, I don't really watch.
But they've got a new thing. I don't know how new it is. They could have done it for the last 3 years. But I wasn't watching it, but it was on. It was on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
I was waiting for something else to start, but anyway, it was on the screen, and there was like lifelines. They never used to have lifelines. It was like the pass.
I think it was 50-50, phone a friend, and
now there's like ask the host. Like
really?
People can ask Eddie Maguire what the answer is.
They don't watch fucking. No, he doesn't tell them, but he's like, I reckon fucking.
No, like he. No.
Oh, you can literally get free.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're like, now Eddie, what do you think? And he doesn't know, so he doesn't get told the answer.
Yeah.
Because normally when he's
going
through it,
thing.
He's like, "Are you sure? Are you sure you want to go with that one?" I don't know. And then they're like, "Oh, it could be that one." Yep, locked in. And then it's the right answer. He's pretty good. He's pretty.
He tries to help, I think.
But now I think since doing that lifeline, he doesn't get put the answers in front of him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they'll ask him. He's like, "Fuck, I don't know."
Imagine if you actually spoke like that. Fuck me, mate. You're kidding, mate.
What the fuck are you asking me for? I'm just reading the questions,
Should
mate.
ask your fucking wife up there. Fuck.
Yeah, but anyway, shout out to Eddie Maguire.
Yeah, not a good man, but shout out to you.
His coverage of the Olympics was alright.
I can't believe he's still on TV.
Yeah,
he's gotten away with some
questionable
mischievous
activities.
Things. Yeah, not good. Anyways, we'll move on. Shout out Eddie, I guess. Not really, but shout out.
Good on him. He hasn't got a mention in this podcast before, so there you go.
We tend to bring up the derelicts, don't we?
Anyway, let's move on.
Or
maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should stick to Eddie.
No, let's move on.
I don't really want to talk about the cricket.
Let's talk about it.
So
we got pumped.
We lost
295 runs.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah,
a lot of runs.
A lot of runs.
Just bowl outscored the whole fucking team.
Yeah, yeah.
First innings, we had them on the ropes.
We did
6 for fucking nothing.
Yeah.
If Cummins knew how to catch, if a few things went our way, Usman was maybe standing where he should have been standing. Fuck, they're on not much for not much. They end up scraping their way to 150. We're licking our lips,
which is still very, very good.
Unders.
Like,
yeah, right.
For Australia, you'll take that.
Unders, and then we're licking our lips until the lips are chapped. Our lips were chapped. All out for 104. That's with Stark facing 112 balls.
I tell you what, it could have been a lot worse if Stark didn't. And
Hazelwood.
I rate Stark.
31 from Hazelwood. 31 balls from Hazelwood is...
yeah.
If you know Hazelwood, he doesn't last 31 balls ever.
I'll tell you what, I rate it from Stark because he came out the day before he batted.
Yep.
And they were asking him about the pitch. I mean, saying the pitch was pretty poor and how, it was a bit too tough for the batsman. And he kind of came out, he's like, well, it wasn't really. Like, it was just the batsmen didn't do their job.
And the bowlers had a good day.
The bowlers are allowed to bowl good balls.
Yeah, that's his right.
It's up for the batsmen to play them and bat well, and they didn't. So
exactly, I rate it.
And then he came out the next day and he backed it up and he batted pretty well and he showed, that he can bat on that pitch.
Yep.
And
bowlers are allowed to have good days.
They are.
And he was right. He's like, you often blame the pitch when the batsmen have a bad day. Maybe Bumrah's just bowled a few good balls. Siraj has chipped in well.
Yeah.
Rana's talking shit too much, but he's also chipped in.
Yeah.
I agree with him.
Yeah.
Bowlers never really get much love. They're sort of just like the donkeys of the team.
Yeah.
Do your job
if they roll a team, it's kind of like, the pitch was bowler friendly. Whereas if they get like smashed around, they're like, well, the bowler's not doing their job. Take what it is, mate.
Like Bumrah taken 5 in that first innings, and no one's talking about it. Not one soul has barely mentioned it. Because batting. That's all
there was a fair bit of talk about it.
There was a couple, but like it's not like if Stark took 5, we'd be glorifying it. We'd be all over it. So.
Yeah, but Stark's not a chucker.
Yeah, well, that's the conversation point, isn't it? Then we replied 104, as we know.
Yep.
India then replied a fucking lot.
Yeah.
Like a lot. I can't give you the figures.
Doesn't matter.
Jaswal scored 166.
Yeah, good on him.
Fuck, man. Wasn't looking good. And few boys got in. Like they looked to dig in, and it just didn't pan out, did it?
No.
Cummins sends himself out selfishly
as
the night
get
watchman.
I don't get that, to be honest.
I get it. He wants to rest the bowlers, and he wants to... Look, his intention wasn't to get out. It was a grey ball, but like...
I get... I don't know. I just feel like when you got Nathan Lyon, he is the night watchman. If you're going to send out a night watchman, send out the one that's been doing it for years.
The actual night watchman. Where I think Lyon would have offered... Lyon might have even been padded up.
Yeah.
And I dare say Cummins would have said, mate, you rest.
Yeah.
We need you for tomorrow. We need you for the next test. I think it was just like looking out for the boys.
Yeah.
A lot of overs in the legs. And he knows Lyon's going to bowl a lot of overs.
That's what it was. It was more like, yeah.
If he survives, he looks even more like a hero.
Yeah.
Like, selfless act, but it was a good ball that fucking got him.
Didn't even play it.
Nah, but I guess when you're not a batsman, it's moving that bit.
Yeah.
It's...
I just think if the intention of sending out a night watchman is to give you the best chance of, getting through the night and not losing a wicket, then you send out the person that's been doing it for years.
Watchman.
And
correct. I agree.
He's well trained, and he's got a good defense. Nathan Lyon, like when he gets out, it's tend to be him trying to score.
Yeah, because he plays shots. Yeah. He said, "If you're bowling at body, I'm hitting it."
But when he genuinely wants to just hang in there and survive, he normally does it.
Yeah.
Like I can't remember a time where he got out being a night watchman, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
Marnus fought hard for a mini start to nothing.
Yeah.
Smith fucking took his time, and it finally looked like he was seeing the ball.
He was looking good. That was as best I've seen him for a while.
One little bounce up from Siraj, you can see it got him thinking, shit, maybe I should stand back a bit.
Yeah.
Get on my back foot a touch.
Yeah.
And he just bowled it fuller.
It was a good ball.
And it was a grey ball.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, the two shining lights is Head. Head, he scored runs. I'm glad, this sounds funny, I'm glad he didn't score a century. Because I don't know how many centuries we're going to get this summer.
Yeah. You don't want to use them up on
that. We're
that.
saving them.
Yeah.
And I'm it sounds weird, but I'm sort of glad he didn't. And
strategic for Head.
And Mitch Marsh. He looked good.
Yeah.
Until he didn't. So it's like, it's that bit of concentration they're lacking.
Carey looked good as well, I thought. With the bat.
I think Carey he knows his role.
He's in good form, Carey. Like he looks, even in the first innings, even though he got out nicking, he still looked pretty good. Like I think he's going to play a big role in the series, I think.
Yeah. I think the two questions I want to ask you, and I think the whole nation is peppering at the moment, is Mick Sweeney. What are your early thoughts? What's going on with Khawaja? And to finish it, is there something wrong with Marnus? Should he be dropped? Should he be kept?
That's a lot of questions that you've
I'm going to hit you with the first one. The openers. What have you thought of the openers so far?
Well, Khawaja was disappointing, but I think he's done enough over the last probably 2 years to keep his spot at least for the next couple of tests.
He's got at least two tests, I think.
It's not like there's an opener banging their door down. Like we literally picked McSweeney, who's not an opener, because there was no other opener
in form at the time.
So it seems a bit silly to drop Khawaja, who has been in good form. Obviously not like over the last probably 6 months, but before that he's been pretty reliable and pretty solid for us. So and even in that first innings, like the second innings, even though he got out early the next day, the first couple of overs that he faced against the new boy, he looked pretty solid.
Yeah, he looked comfortable.
So, and like the shot he got out for was, he was trying to play a shot, it bounced a bit more, got a top edge. Like it's
very unlucky.
It's not like he
normally middles those. Those are the ones he middles to get off the mark and stuff.
It didn't look like a shot of a batsman that's out of form. It just looked 100%. Like one of those things.
One of those days.
It's not like he was just fending at one outside off stump. His feet weren't moving. Things like that. So, I'm pretty comfortable with Uzi.
Yeah,
McSweeney I wouldn't have picked in the first place.
McSweeney's second innings ball was ridiculous. That was a great ball.
Yeah,
I can't even hate.
I wouldn't have picked him in the first place, McSweeney. I didn't think that he was the right option.
But I'm already hearing signs of drop
it. I think.
What do you think of that?
Now that you've picked him, I think you've got to stick with him for a little bit longer. I don't think
he at least has 4 tests. You'd say you're not dropping him before the 4th. It just seems weird, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think he gets three tests. I think he gets this
6
one.
innings. Yeah.
I think he gets this one, and I think if he really gets out cheap both innings this time, then I think he starts to get a bit of pressure.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't drop him after one test.
I agree.
That's harsh. You've obviously picked him because he was the most, they thought, informed batsman in the country. So you can't. That doesn't change after one test match. You don't.
Yeah, of course. Yep.
So you know, if they thought he was good enough for the last test, then
2 weeks ago,
nothing's changed.
Yeah. They need to back him, I think, for just in general.
But the problem is he's not an opener. I've seen suggestions of putting him at number 3, which I don't think fixes that at all.
It doesn't
what's the
change
difference between an
anything.
opener and
I think Uzi should have just taken
first drop?
strike
Yeah.
that second when he,
Yeah, but he could have wanted it.
that's that's the thing we don't know as fans.
Yeah.
He might have said, "No, fuck you, Uzi.
Yeah.
I'm good."
Yeah.
But then he got done to one of the best
Yeah.
fucking Yorkers I've seen in a long time. Great ball.
Yeah.
Now the Marnus hate. There's been a lot of Marnus hate.
There has.
The first innings, two runs, 52 balls.
I actually thought that first innings, even though like he only scored 2 runs, he obviously, like, when the wickets were falling around him, he wanted to kind of hang in there.
He made a
keep
decision
solid,
to slow it right
and
down.
try and build a partnership with somebody. And he kind of made the decision, I'm just going to stick around and wait for someone that's going to bat with me. Unfortunately, no one batted with him, and he looked like a bit of a dick. But you know, I don't hate that game plan. I don't think people should be criticising him because of his low strike rate for that. Because I think
agreed.
In that moment where wickets were tumbling around him, he was actually the only one. Like he faced 50 odd balls, which, you know, was probably more than any other batsman faced, except for Stark.
Stark and almost Josh Hazlewood.
Yeah, so
which is crazy. 31 balls from Josh Hazlewood. He's usually out by the third.
Yeah,
fourth.
the second innings dismissal where he left one that was going to cannon into middle stump was poor. And I think that, like, it was a good ball, but that shows, I guess, a little bit of a lack of.
He's lacking confidence.
Let's not beat around the bush. Yeah.
But we're not hating on. This is just what we see. This is our opinion. I don't like the hate. Marnus, yes, he went from the number 1 test batsman 18 months ago to whatever the fuck he is now.
Yeah.
Who cares? He has been our best option at number 3 for a while now.
Yeah.
And I think he's just having a dud start.
Yeah.
I think he will build.
Yeah.
And I think, look, the one thing that's really pissed me off is James Brayshaw. I used to really like him. I don't know if you heard the comments he made. It actually pissed me off to the core. He was jokingly, after he got out in the second innings, said maybe he should go down to 2s and 3s in grade to get some time at the crease. And he was being dead serious.
Yeah.
You're telling me Marnus, lose bus change, should be going down to 2s and 3s to get time at the crease. Imagine if you're fucking playing for West and you see Marnus walk out. Like, what a stupid comment to make. He's in a bit of poor form. We understand that. He's going to see that and just fucking think, are you kidding? But I should be going down to grade cricket.
I don't think it's a bad option, to be honest, to not
grade.
To go to grade cricket when it's tough with the Shield, right? Because, you know,
players are locked in.
The Shield's locked in. They're in like the middle of the match or whatever. So it's tough to go back to Shield cricket.
Yeah.
Just to get that match experience that runs under the belt, go back to grade, not fucking seconds and thirds, but go to first.
He's literally saying go to second and third.
Go to first grade.
Because he said first might be too tough. Like, are you kidding? Marnus would fucking wipe the floor with any first grader in this. Like, that's what. Like, in the other commentators are like, you could hear him go, "Oh, for fuck's sake, James, you peanut."
But there is quite a way to go until the next game. Like, there's no reason that they can't, you know, go and play a bit of grade cricket on the weekend.
Just have a closed game with bowlers that bowl like Siraj, that bowl like.
Where are you going to find them, though?
You'll find any young kid that you say, hey, you want to make a couple $100 bowling to Australia's. They do this thing. They do closed off net sessions, closed off games. This happens.
But it's one thing facing Bumrah.
I know,
it's another thing facing fucking
you're never going to emulate someone bowling 140.
Old mate from the fucking.
I get that. But it's like.
From the local pub that you've just dragged in that's bowling fucking pies.
I think he just needs bulk time training. Like, just fucking. Maybe if he has an hour, give him 2.
Yeah.
You know, do what he wants. Anything he wants, just sort of let him have it.
He just needs runs. He just needs
confidence
runs.
thing.
He needs,
I think he's got a minute. I think he's just had a poor start and people are overreacting. I think it's a huge overreaction.
Yeah, I think he's been one of our best batsmen for a long time, and I think the talk around dropping him. Look, I get the point because he's not scoring any runs, so I get
no one is.
I get the argument, and when you're losing, everything's put under the microscope. Everyone wants change, because
Typical.
the blokes. You see it every time. Every time we lose a game.
One game, we lost one game in like fucking 2 years.
There's always talk about we should drop the entire team. Like,
drop Cummins because he went to Coldplay.
There's talk about that. Like there's talk about dropping Steve Smith.
Bro, like
I think the talk about dropping Steve Smith, and there's a lot of talk about dropping Steve Smith. It's ridiculous. Like he's our best batsman since Bradman. Yes, he's a little bit out of form, but you look through every great player that we've had has had moments
Hayden's dipped.
where they're a bit out of form, but they bounce back and they come good. And
100%, I agree.
There's no doubt Steve Smith is, if anyone's going to solve, he's one of the best problem solvers in world cricket.
Yep. Well, he solved it. Look at from the first innings to the second. He wasn't stepping across. He was already on middle stump.
Yeah.
He wasn't waiting for Siraj to swing it. He said, if you're going to swing it, I'll be there ready.
Yeah.
He made that adjustment. And I don't know.
So, I think Steve Smith's still in for a big series. I think the talk
happen.
about dropping... And it's just the people that fucking don't...
They're idiots. I think they're actually idiots.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of people as well, I still think, from the whole sandpaper thing that don't like the Australian cricket team.
Yep.
And
that's fine.
They're praying for the downfall. And every time there's a loss, any time there's any kind of hiccup, they're ready to pounce and criticise and not support them, which, is their right.
Yeah.
But, I think a lot of the talk is probably not genuine...
Agreed.
Thoughts, I guess, from the... I don't know.
Team's perspective. It's like, I dislike Smith and he's playing like shit. Here's my reason to type that no one will see.
Yeah.
Now, the last talking point, it's... cleared my mind. Ignore that. When that comes back, I'll ask you that question. There's a doozy too.
Was?
Oh, fuck it. I've missed it. No. Anyway, India pumped us by 295. I don't think we're well prepared enough, and I think this was the wake-up call.
Yeah. Yeah.
And remember, fucking on Facebook, no one fucking reads your comments, so maybe
we do.
Sorry, Fox Sport Australia. They love it. They fucking...
Maybe we could read them.
Yeah, maybe we should read them.
We'll read them next week instead of our... Maccas and K, because people have been pretty friendly this week. There's not a lot of
maybe
Macs,
that's our thing to look at.
We might look through Fox Sports and see what's going on there. What do you think of the bowlers? Bowlers did their job.
Hazelwood, I thought, was up there. Bumrah was obviously excellent. Siraj in the second innings, I thought was excellent.
What did you think about our bowling in India's second innings, where towards the end of that, that last probably half an hour before they declared, when Marnus was bowling,
I thought
bounces, that was upsetting to me.
That was annoying because that was just someone. I don't think it was even Cummins really. I think it was someone like McDonald saying, "Fuck, I need to get these boys some rest."
That felt to me like we just gave up. And I know the game was a long way away, and I thought, there's virtually not really any chance of winning here. But when in the past have you seen an Australian team give up? You haven't.
Yeah, exactly.
The one thing that we normally pride ourselves on is being able to fight until the end, whether the game's gone or not.
Yeah.
We don't give up. And for me, it felt like we gave up at that moment. That disappointed me.
I think, I don't want to say give up, but I feel like they just went, sweet. Because they were still trying, everything they were doing, they were trying things. Those Marnus bouncer overs are usually allocated to Cam Green in the middle of the day, right? Those are usually the Cam Green 145 click bounce overs.
Yeah.
And India would have been preparing for that for months.
Yeah.
And then he goes under the knife. So they know Marsh is only going to bowl 6 to 7 max, if that.
Yeah.
Who's going to be... Head will bowl some because he has to. Do we go with Smith? But no, I reckon they sort of forced Marnus to bowl bounces, because that's usually when Cam Green comes in and just bowls body length, and just. I didn't like it, but what can you do? You don't want to overexert Stark and Hazelwood in the first test of a game that was slipping, early, like in day 3. But I do feel like they lost hope. I don't want to say give up. I feel like they lost hope. India just drilled us. Like they really just mentally won. They won.
And then the negative bowling towards the end there, I thought was poor.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think everyone knew that India were just waiting for Kohli to score 100 and then they were going to declare.
100%.
And I thought it was a real missed opportunity not to really put the pressure on Kohli and really drag that out.
Yeah. Bowl boring and make him score.
Bowl boring. And I guess they were trying that with the negative bowling. I guess that was what it was. Yeah. But I just thought there was after he got pinged for that, it was just like, okay, we'll just bowl half trackers then and let him get the 100. And I think that ultimately resulted in the 3 wickets that we lost, right?
Yeah.
So
massively.
If we restrict Kohli and not get him to 100, or he gets to the 100 with maybe 2 overs left in the day, then all of a sudden, instead of being 3 for fuck all, we're none down, 2 days to bat, but it's still a very different I guess feeling going into the fourth day.
It's a different scenario
where India haven't won the game yet. There's still a bit of hope. There's something that you can get out of it. Whereas
there's something you can play towards. You're not going to win, but play towards.
Whereas by
something.
losing that 3 wickets late on the third day, that just was that was it.
No, I think
that was a nail in the coffin, and I thought that was a real missed opportunity there, and I thought that was the signs of a team that's given up.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I don't want to say giving up, but I'm going to, on whatever that teetering line is, I agree with you wholly and heartedly. The last thing I want to bring up, and it's come back to me, the cuntiness of Australia cricket. It's gone, right? And we understand that.
Yeah.
We've won everything.
Yeah.
Everything we've won. T20 World Cup, One Day World Cup, Test Championship, this trophy last time we fucking played for it.
Yeah.
We've won everything being nice.
Yeah.
We lose one game, and these 40-year-old men who want to see Andrew Simons and Brett Lee threatening, this and that. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I still think we're an intimidating nation in general, but stump mics are a thing.
Yeah.
Players get in trouble now for the smallest of gestures. So relax. We've lost one game. I know we got pumped. Let's move on. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah. I still like it when we're being mean. I want to see us be mean.
I like being mean, but we haven't been for 2 years, and we've been the most successful cricketing nation ever.
Yeah.
Period. So it's I'm okay with right.
Yeah.
And last but not least,
and it's hard to be mean when you're getting pumped.
Exactly. Cummins won't be that poor ever again for the rest of his career, because he was quite poor bowling wise, in my opinion.
It's very easy to kind of be arrogant and all of that when you're up and you're winning and you're full of confidence. When you're losing, it's what do you want him to do?
No one's Mark Wall.
Yeah.
Or was it Steve that was the real?
What do you want him to go up to
Kohli
when he's on 100 and be like, yeah, you're shit, mate.
Get that into you. That's why I didn't like Rana. Did you see Rana talking shit to Head?
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, he's the one guy you probably cannot talk shit to. Everyone else go nuts.
Yeah.
go nuts. But anyways, relax. One game. I don't think we respected India.
But I think India are a mean side. They're an arrogant side.
I think.
And
how do I say this?
They're all a bunch of flogs.
How do I say this honestly? I think they try to be mean.
They're all cunts.
Because, no offense, when you bowl body line at Travis Head and he's laughing at you saying good ball, you're not that threatening, dude. You're not like Azari Joseph.
But I think that highlights, I guess, as well, because they're aggressive and they're coming at us and we're not coming back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even with Tim Payne, when him and Kohli, he had their spats, he didn't back down.
Yeah.
And the criticism of Tim Payne when he first came in, he was too nice and he's all of that. And then all of a sudden they were playing India and India was being arrogant and having a go at him. Yeah. And he stood up and he whereas probably didn't see that. But again, when you're so far behind the game, it makes it difficult.
Exactly. And I think it's weird. You're going to see Pat Cummins abuse anyone in general. He might give him a little cheeky line, but
maybe Gina Ridehart.
Oh yeah, maybe yeah. Or I'm okay with it. Fucking relax, everyone. And last but not least, they need to keep Josh Hazelwood away from the post-game interviews.
No, let him do the.
How funny!
Let him do the press conference.
He's already talking about the next game. Big half.
I thought
the media training was top tier.
Yeah, I thought the the media kind of reaction to that was strange.
They get sooking.
It was very strange because the question was asked.
He's being realistic.
This was the last day of the test, and they asked, how do you win this? He's like, well, that's a job for the batsman. Look, his job's done as a bowler.
He bowled 2 for 29
in
off
India.
18.
India have finished their batting. It is now up to the batters to bat and see what they can do. So I thought he answered that pretty well. It's not up to Josh Hazlewood to bat for 2 days.
This is the issue because now everyone can bat. These media guys are allowed to say whatever they want.
And then, the talk around it, it's a divided camp. He's singling out the batsman. He's blaming the batsman. I didn't see that. I thought he got asked a question about how are you going to win from here.
Yep.
And he said, well, I've done my job.
I don't think we are, but talk to the batters.
The batsmen are the ones that are batting. I'm not batting for 2 days. Yeah, I agree. Anyways,
let's move on. Yeah. We got pumped by 295. We will come back.
We got hit with some questions about the old cricket.
Coming up to the second test, we did.
You put a little thing on our, what do you call it? Instagram?
You know how to get to it?
Oh, I'll find it.
Yeah, I did. And we got a few questions. Probably leave out the silly ones. You go to
how do you get
our page, archive, the 3 lines in the top right, archive, and then click on the story with the bluey.
That one?
Yeah, and then click on activity. Yeah.
Here we go. Okay.
Question number 1.
Thoughts on Henry Hunt?
Thoughts on Henry Hunt?
I like him.
I like him, but I don't think he's going to get selected.
Yeah, I think he's...
Solid bat. Does the job.
He's probably our best open... Yeah, I'd say at the moment he's probably our best opening option.
Or Kemi? He just scored that 100.
Nah.
Sure?
No.
Did you see he scored?
I saw he scored 100, but I also saw he hasn't scored a run for a year.
Yeah.
So I'm not putting... And it was against the Redbacks, like South Australia. They're a bit of a basket case rule.
Well, the disrespect to Saka.
Well,
the Saka boys.
I think my grandma could score runs against South Australia.
Oh my God.
And she's in a coffin, so...
Jesus Christ. But I want I want them to come here, bowl to you in a net.
But no, I think Henry Hunt is probably our best opening option. If you're gonna replace one of the openers, I think he's probably the next best at the moment. Him and the New South Wales guy, Constance.
Yep.
I think one of them two are the one. Henry Hunt, he doesn't have a great average.
No.
But he has been in pretty good form over the last couple of years.
He's in good touch.
The last couple of years, he's really stepped it up. But before there, he was poor. But he seems to have turned it around. So whether there's a technical thing or a reason for that turnaround, or whether he's just in a bit of a purple patch.
Yep.
But if he can keep doing it consistently, then I think he's well on his way to earning a spot in the team. Thoughts on Bancroft after that ton? I just talked about it.
A good option if we do make that call.
Yeah, I'd like to see him do it again. Obviously, as I said, he hasn't scored runs. Like he hasn't scored a run. Like in the same game, he got out first ball of the match.
Yeah.
So, I know people.
He's just doing the just while.
I know people want Bancroft in the team, and he's kind of the popular selection, I would say. Everyone wants him because he's. I don't know. I don't know why everyone wants him.
He's old, but he's new. He's like restored.
Everyone rates because he's obviously scored a heap of Shield runs over the last couple of years, and people think he deserves a chance.
He sort of done what Kadich did that time he was out of the team. He just scored fuckloads of runs.
And he's been unlucky probably not to be picked before, but I don't think this is the year to pick him. I just think after if he goes out of the next Shield game and scores another 100, then he's someone that you can look at. But I just think 100 after 20 low scores, it's a bit
Yeah. No, I agree. You're
right. More interesting discussing India's 11 as Australia will be unchanged. Ashwin or Jadeja or Sundar. First of all, Sundar Washington has got to be one of the best names in world cricket, I reckon.
It's a cool name.
So I'd pick him over just purely because of that.
And he's the worst out of the three. Respectfully, I think Jadeja comes in. I think Rohit obviously will come back in.
Who's he come in for?
Rana. Easily.
Yeah.
Rana.
Where's he batting though?
Like where Jadeja normally hits.
Yeah, but
6-7.
Yeah. and you'd put Rohit at 6 or 7.
No, Rohit's going to go back to 1, 2 or 3, whatever they want to do. They'll drop Attica.
So who are you dropping?
And Annika.
The number 3,
Yeah.
first drop.
Yeah. Right. He'll come in for Rohit. Rohit will come in for him, obviously.
Yeah.
Being the captain. Then Rana will get dropped for, in my opinion, Jadeja.
So who's batting at first drop? Would you bring KL Rahul? Would you put him at first drop? Because you can't move the other bloke after scoring 160.
I think KL goes down to first drop.
Yeah.
Because he showed what he can do at
Yeah.
the top. So what's the difference?
Yeah.
1 to 3.
Because he doesn't deserve to be dropped. I
No,
don't think.
well, he doesn't deserve, but they you never know. They might go 2 spin option. Who knows? But I personally think Attica, I'm saying his name wrong, but he gets dropped because he didn't really do much, honestly. So he made it sort of easy for Rohit to come back in.
Yeah.
And I think...
Pradikar, I think it was.
Pradikar?
I don't know.
It's Pradikar, you're right. It's Pradikar. I think he didn't do enough, and Rohit's the captain.
Yeah.
He's not getting fucking dropped.
Yeah.
And I think, obviously, Rana. No offense to Rana, but fucking Jadeja, one of the best all-rounders.
I'd like to see Sarfraz.
Oh, mate, I want Sarfraz in that fucking team, but he didn't even get picked up in the IPL.
Yeah, it's a bit sad.
Dogs. They're fucking body shaming.
Because he scored a great 100 against New Zealand over there when no one else could score a run.
Well, he was scoring runs when no one could.
Yeah.
He was him and Jaspal were the only two.
And then, they
hate him.
They dropped,
Too many thick guys.
Couldn't fit in the plane.
Rohit. So he's already thick.
Yeah.
So that's my predictions.
They didn't want they don't want the double charge for the
premium
the
economy.
extra seat. So
double seatbelt.
Yeah.
But we love him.
We do. We do. So I hope he gets a run. Or a walk.
Or a walk. No, he'll run. He's run.
You reckon he'll run?
He runs.
Okay.
Gets plenty of them. Wish he was Australian.
Since Ajaz Patel spanked the Indian team, does that make him the father of both India and Australia?
Well, I guess it does, doesn't it?
I mean, has he done it against us though? The old Ajaz Patel. That's all I'm saying. So I'm going to say no. No, it doesn't.
Sorry.
I'm
in the middle, yeah.
Sorry, Ajaz, but didn't do it when he was out here, did he?
Yeah, he didn't. That's true.
So, there you go. And, one more here. If 4 out of 5 people suffer from diarrhea, does the last person enjoy it?
Definitely not.
No, wouldn't have thought so.
Not a good time being that 5th person.
No.
Thanks for the questions.
They are the questions.
Appreciate them. Love your work.
Yeah. What about, actually, there was one more. What's the thoughts about Webster?
Bo Webster getting added to the squad.
He got added into the squad.
Now, if Marsh does
have a bit of talk about Mitch Marsh not being able to bowl.
Injured. I think he might be carrying something.
Yes.
That they're not
I think the talk is if he plays, he can bat, but he can't bowl.
And we need someone.
And the question is, if you're picking Marsh, are you picking Marsh if he can't bowl?
No.
Like, are you picking him solely as a batsman?
We need bowlers.
Or do you think you need that extra?
We need to give Hazelwood a break.
Yeah.
He's not going to bowl 2 for 29 off 18, every game. That was a big ask. Big effort, really. Big lift.
You don't think he's good enough solely as a batsman to maintain his spot?
It's not that. I think he's been our second best bat for a long time.
So then would you keep him in the side as a bat and drop one of the other batsmen and replace him with a Webster who can bowl a bit as well?
I don't think you can, because then you give the nation what they want. Just dropping blokes for the fucking sake of it. I think if you're dropping Marsh, because Marsh is your all-rounder.
Yeah.
You see him as an all-rounder.
Yeah.
Bo Webster would just be a like for like, if not probably a stronger bowler.
Yeah.
And recently he scored fucking a shit ton of
form.
runs. So if he truly is hurt, I'd pick Webster. But if Marsh isn't hurt and it was just like a side strain or rolled ankle, he'll be right in 14 days. So
I mean, the whole talk around...
Either way, I'm okay with
the whole talk around the squad, like George Bailey came out, Pat Cummins came out and said the squad that we picked for the first test will be the same squad as the second test. So the fact that they brought him into the squad means they're not just bringing him in for experience. They're bringing him in because he's going to play.
He's going to play at some point. So that makes me think Marsh is hurt.
So clearly,
or he's picked up something, right?
Yeah,
maybe.
And the one thing that I would like to point out with Webster is his nickname is Slug, and I think that's pretty cool.
One of the great names. Slug.
It is.
Big
and
Slug.
I think he deserves to be picked for that.
I reckon he could.
And for that reason alone.
He could do. I think we might a
bit more slugging around.
A bit more slugging. So,
cool.
Marsh wasn't really moving gingerly on one of those legs.
Well, he didn't bowl many overs, and considering like the amount of overs that our fast bowlers had to get through,
we need that 20 overs from someone.
the fact that he kind of only bowled 6 or 7 overs was a bit of a concern.
I feel like we're under bowling line too.
I thought he was the pick of our bowlers, to be honest.
Him and Hazelwood,
he
A1,
looked,
A2.
he looked very, very dangerous.
On a different day,
line.
he takes 3.
Yeah.
So
a couple of balls that went through the gate and just went over the top of the stumps. Like,
yeah.
You know, he gets...
Also, how did Carey almost catch that? One down. That was nuts.
Yeah.
The fact that he got a glove to that.
A lot of buys from Carey, though. That was our most...
The cracks.
Our most extras ever conceded in a
test
match, I think.
For some of them, he had a freaking Superman dive.
Yeah.
Like, anyways.
I thought... The only time that I thought was quite poor was late in the day where a ball came in from the boundary and he just kind of let it go through and it went for a couple of overthrows.
Yeah.
That was disappointing from him. But again, you know,
now quickly,
it was a tough day.
13-year-olds, quite young. Sporting talents. Some are.
Muhammad Shami,
There are.
all about that.
The IPL just happened. The auction. Sorry, the auction of the IPL.
Yes.
A 13-year-old Indian-born has just been drafted. Third fucking team.
For the IPL or for the Army?
For the IPL.
Oh.
And maybe the Army, depending what team he plays for. Isn't that crazy to you? 13 years old.
The question is he actually 13 or is it like the old, you know?
I think he's 13.
Because Rashid Khan as well.
Have you seen a picture of him?
Yeah.
He looks like a child, like a young little child.
Because I'm pretty sure Rashid Khan is like 18 and he looks like he's
36.
35.
Yeah.
So
acts like he's 18.
Yeah.
If you don't do this, we're not playing. Okay.
Don't play.
Really? Okay. Sweet.
But it's big news, big talking points in the IPL. Obviously, the
Rashid. Punt.
Yes.
Big money.
Big money, almost 5 mil.
5 mil.
So
that's fucked.
That'd be nice, considering he was almost dead like a year ago.
Dude, his story is amazing.
Yeah.
How can you not love him, mate? The way he got out.
Yeah.
Trying to fucking send line out of the stadium. Oh, punt.
Yeah, punt.
We've got Rishbaz punt.
But the positive news here out of it is David Warner, unsold.
Not picked up, a shock.
So
after he slandered the one team that was probably going to take a risk on him, the Sunrisers, I don't think anyone else was looking at him respectfully.
Yeah, it was a
dickhead.
But
oh, what a shame. Yeah. He's dressing up in the Fox team like he's a 90s car salesman.
Yeah,
like, he looks like a wank.
He does.
Everyone else looks hectic, and he's in this brown fucking...
Looks like he's picked it up from the salvos.
Legit. Nothing against the salvos, but like, come on, mate.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's funny.
Very strange, but
typical Warner, just fucking
gone unsold. Which, considering all the heavy lifting, I guess he's done over the last couple of months in terms of giving content to Indians and really trying hard to improve his value.
Yeah.
In the subcontinent, didn't work out for you, Dave.
No,
so unlucky.
Now
more time with Candice.
That's it. Maybe that's why I was trying to get over there. Now, a sadder topic. It's been 10 years since the passing of Phil Hughes.
It has.
10 years, bro. That's... It's weird to say that's gone quick, but like I still remember it happening.
Yeah.
Like it was yesterday. It sounds very cliche, but I still remember how big of a story it was.
It's one of those moments, I think, that no matter, I guess, what you were doing, you will always remember what you were doing in that moment. It's one of those, like, I guess you have...
Sad, bro.
Yeah.
I was at training.
Yeah.
Like as a kid.
Yeah, I think every young cricketer probably remembers exactly where they were, exactly what they were doing when they found out. Like, I just finished playing cricket for my school.
Yeah.
And someone had their phone out and they were like...
he's been hit.
Someone sent a message because this was after he's been hit.
Yeah, he's been gone to the hospital.
But you didn't think much of it.
No.
Like you thought, oh, he's hit. That's pretty shit. But
like you think as
right.
a kid, you're like, oh, he'll be looked after by the ambulance.
Yeah,
ambulance will get him there. They'll be looked after.
He's in hospital, but he'll be right. Like
that's how you think as a kid.
Yeah. He only got hit by a cricket ball. Like he'll be sweet.
At that age, we didn't understand how serious it was.
Well, no one's.
We're 17, 18.
No one's ever died from being hit by a cricket
exactly.
ball. Like, so you don't think it can happen. And then someone sent me a message. It was like, oh, send your thoughts to Phil Hughes. Like he died And then I was reading it out and a couple of boys around me, like, what the fuck's he going on about? Like,
is he talking shit?
He's not dead, mate.
Not something
like,
not something to joke about, sort of thing.
He's like, he didn't die. Like, settle down.
Yeah.
And then I opened up the Cricket Australia app.
And it was the first thing you saw.
And it was black. They turned it black, and it was like the big article was like, Vale Phil Hughes, and then I'm like, oh shit, he did die.
I was proper sad, bro. I loved watching him. He was like what Travis.
I just remember like the whole way going home, just like
rattled.
I just didn't know. Like I didn't think it was possible to die playing cricket, and then I was playing cricket the next week, and you're thinking about things differently. And
there's a bit of at my club they forced us to buy those. Remember how they brought them out within like 2-3 months? Those back pieces.
Yeah.
To protect the side of the necks.
Yeah.
And we were forced to wear those.
Yeah.
Until we hit seniors, and then you obviously made the decision to, it was sucks, man, because he, regardless if he was a gun or not, but he was on the incline. He was just going to get his way back in the team. Everything was going well for his career.
I dare say, and I think
it sucks.
And I think it's always hard to make the calls like in retrospect, but like looking at his records and what he did as Shield cricket and domestic cricket and what he did in international cricket when he first came onto the scene, he had a little bit of a form slump, but I dare say he'd probably go down as one of our best players right now. Like I think, and again, it's hard to say. Like you can make these calls and people tend to, I guess, over exaggerate people's achievements and people of what they can achieve once they're gone, because I think people just like doing that. But
how old would he have been?
I think he was 25, 20.
Like I dare say he possibly could have still been in this side.
Yeah.
Like he was that good.
Yeah. Well, he was coming through like the same time as Steve Smith. And all that. And
Marnus.
The talk was around, Smith and Hughes are like the future of Australia, and very upsetting. Cause I dare say he would be a core member, not just a core member. I think he would be with Smith probably our best player. Yeah,
imagine those two
over the last number of years, and
But even then, just the whole cricketing world, got together for a month or whatever, however long it took you.
That was the positive, I think, behind. Like I'd never seen the cricket community get together. Like, I remember there was a New Zealand game. I think it was might have been New Zealand, India. I don't know, but it was New Zealand and someone.
Yep.
And they were playing over there, and the news broke out, and no one appealed. Like there were no appeals for that day. Like there were no bouncers bowled, and every wicket that New Zealand took, there was nothing. Like there was no reaction at all. It was just
Well, how flat would you be?
Yeah.
He would have had so many mates.
Yeah.
Within the
remember the old,
scene,
the whole put your bats out for...
Yeah, on your front porch.
Yeah. And
I saw a lot of people do that today.
Yeah.
Like on Instagram and Facebook and wherever else.
Because I remember at the time just driving around and seeing like...
Bats.
It was pretty much every house in the street would have a bat. It's like...
I think I took a photo of me doing it.
It was insane. Yeah.
Like I did it.
Yeah.
Like, because everyone was doing it. It was important. I guess it was an important time to see... that people cared.
Yeah.
It was also a very weird time because, as you said, it made you think about cricket a lot differently.
And it was just before the summer of cricket, so you're getting excited of cricket, and then it's like, it's just... And then there was a test match against India that played probably a week or so afterwards.
Later,
that was like a game that I've never watched. Like the emotion out of that game was just insane. That was something more than just more than just a game of cricket. Like there was a lot more.
Like imagine losing your mate to a sport that you and them love.
Yeah. Imagine I remember watching Michael Clarke bat with
no sponsors,
no back. Like his back was fucked, and he was playing.
Yeah.
And the only reason he played was because of Phil Hughes, and he wanted to score 100.
It's like a moment, sort of.
And then I think he retired hurt on 60 something, and then came back the next day when he literally couldn't bat.
They just pumped him up with meds.
Something.
Yeah,
like he couldn't play a short ball, he couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
But he managed to get his way to 100, and just moments like that. I think Steve Smith scored 100, and then he went over to the 408 that was on the ground. There was just so many moments in that test match that was just. Yeah.
I dare say the boys will be very fired up for this test. And Phil Hughes' 10 years might have something to do with the core value of like, let's get back.
Yeah.
Let's do this for something.
Yeah.
A greater cause.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. I think
Sad,
so.
but we move.
We do.
G'day, George.
But Ben Hunt.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Ben Hunt in the NRL.
He signed with the Broncos.
He's back with the Bronx.
What are your thoughts?
550,000.
That's also pissed me off.
It's a good deal.
Great deal
where's
for
he
if you're a
going to
Bronco fan.
play? Where's he going to play? Because they got
I think
Adam
9.
Reynolds. Yeah.
Or
It's not a bad
actually,
signing.
let's be honest. Mam's going to be out for at least 12 weeks.
Yeah.
So one of them will play 6. One of them will play 7.
Do you reckon that'll work as a combination?
I don't think it will.
Because they're both dominant.
But for 12
halves.
weeks it will.
I don't think it will.
That's how I see it.
Who's going to be the dominant
Reynolds.
half there? Reynolds. It's got to be Reynolds.
Because he's been there for the longer time in the most recent stint. I think it's a great deal for the Broncos. I don't know how the NRL didn't value his contract higher.
Yeah.
Considering they've done it for everyone else that's just signed.
Well, maybe no one else offered him that much. If that's what everyone else is offering him, then,
True, maybe the NRL was scared to lose him,
Yeah.
sort of thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, that was the only club offering.
Like, if they were offering him, 550,
Yep.
someone else was offering him 600,
Yep.
It's not that big of a difference, whereas, I don't know.
Yep.
Because and they can justify it if they've already got Reynolds. They can say, we're not spending that because we're buying him as a hooker, or we're buying him as a backup half. Like,
he's been the Dragons' best player for 2.5 seasons. I just don't like the fact that the Broncos are seeming to get this treatment that no other club gets.
Well, I mean, they offered him a contract. He signed it. Like, it's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
think it's fair enough, but I just think it's strange that they signed him with Reynolds. That's all.
Yeah, I think it's to replace Mam for the short term. But obviously long-term goals, but it's a short-term fix.
Yeah. If they sign him to play hooker, then I get that.
It really depends what they're going to do with...
I know Ben Hunt doesn't want to play hooker.
But I think going to his last choice, last option, I think he might just do anything at this point. 13 even. You never know, he could dart out at 13. Really.
Anything to get out of the Dragons.
That's it. Poor Dragons.
Well, they've completely changed their roster. They're a complete overhaul.
I sort of like what they're doing.
I think they're a stronger side now, to be honest.
Yep.
Than what they were last year. Like, they've got Gutherson. They've got that leadership that they've lost with Hunt.
Yep.
They get that
and more.
And they get that and more with Gutherson.
You're not getting a sooky little prick that I want to get out of here. You're getting a guy who's dedicated to your club, a proud fan base, and a proud club.
He's going to lead the standards.
Yep. And he already has.
Yeah.
From all reports.
Yeah. So that's our
that's
NRL news.
That's it,
for
really.
the week.
So it's
There's nothing else going on, is it?
Bet of the week terms.
Bet of the week.
Talks, whatever you want to call it. What are we doing? What are you doing? I've got mine, and it's big.
It's big.
It's a mammoth.
Hit me.
Marnus. First innings. Centurion.
Wow.
It's happening.
Wow.
Because my other options...
What's that paying?
Don't know. You're going to do it. You're going to look it for me.
Am I?
This is very vibey. This is very... Marnus has had a gut full of what everyone's saying. And I think he's in for a... Well, team lists aren't out. So maybe...
You can't
but we'll post it when it comes out. But Marnus is going to score a century in the first innings of this next test. I can see it. That's my bet of the week. Bet of the month.
Bet of the month?
Really, yeah. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking...
Cricket related or... Nothing else is on, eh?
I'm thinking...
Coley to take 1 wicket. $50.
To win the toss.
Here we go. You're going to go 0-5 this summer, I can see.
Cummins didn't win the last one.
Yeah, he didn't. There's a reel about it.
He didn't. Because he was saving his coin toss abilities for this one.
Okay.
He likes the day-night test.
Yep.
I think he's got quite a good record tossing in the day-night test and the pink ball tests. And I think that's going to continue.
There's
so
Will's bet of the month.
I think Australia will win the toss. And... I'm going to throw something else out there.
0-2.
I'm going to say Adelaide. What's this? I don't even know what I'm looking for here.
He's looking at things. I don't know what he's looking at, guys.
Marnus is paying $5.80, by the way, to be a top run scorer for Australia.
So it's going to be more than 580.
So for him to score 100 would be more than 580, I would think.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just going to go player of the match.
Yep.
And I'm going to go...
Here we go.
I'm going to go Nathan Lyon.
Line. I like it.
Nathan Lyon. He's
Bit
got
of pink ball spin.
a little bit of pink ball spin.
I like that.
I think he could be in for a big one. I like the way he bowled.
The goat.
And I think he's gonna with all the talk in the pink ball matches is obviously the swing conditions and all of that. But I think Nathan Lyon's got a pretty good record in the pink ball test. He does quietly. So
people try to pump him. That's why, because they haven't scored for 30 overs and then straight up. So you've got here Mac. Remember, if you do bet, do it responsibly.
Yes, and you win some, you lose more.
That's it. Macca's, they've got a new range, so take it away. Take the floor.
They have the summer range, which is...
What is it?
Well, it's basically just like their normal burgers, their chicken burgers and their beef burgers. Yeah. But they've slapped some pineapple on it.
Don't rate it.
So that's kind of it. So that's a little disappointing.
Yeah, no.
Good if you're a pineapple fan, but I'm not. So
I like pineapple, just not with hot food.
Yeah.
Cold food, sweet. Go nuts.
Well, they've got a pineapple sundae, I think. Pineapple sundae.
As in,
like this sauce is pineapple.
Okay.
Which could be nice if you're a pineapple lover.
Yep.
And they've also got cherry ripe McFlurry.
Yeah, not a cherry ripe connoisseur.
Does anyone like cherry ripe? Like
Matthew Schultz, big fan of his cherry ripes. I think he even said to me and Zach his favourite chocolate.
Because I feel like cherry ripe is just like you'll eat it when it's like the last one's in a favourites box.
Even then, no.
Like,
straight to the bin.
Yeah.
Off you go, Cherry. Cherry Evans.
So that's the Macca's updates.
Yeah. What about this?
They've got a new loose change menu though.
Yeah.
I guess in recognition of Marnus. With the loose bus change. But they've got their loose change menu. They've got a couple of changes. Hamburgers $2.
Back to what they used to be.
Back to what they
used
to be.
They used to be.
Well, that's what the comments are. We won't read any comments today because they're all the fucking same. It's just like Macca's
finally
posting their loose change menu. People going, well, it's not really loose change menu. It's just the same regular menu that they had 2 years ago, isn't it?
How do you recycle?
I remember when Big Macs, they were $2. Why is a hamburger $2 now? Inflation.
All right, Bill, calm down.
Hamburger $2. 50-cent cone. 50 cents.
All right, no, Macca's. Now you're talking my language.
Not bad, that one. They've also got some other things that I don't remember.
Yep.
Chicken and cheese, that's back to $3.50. That was up at $5 at one stage.
It used to be $2.
It did, and then it went up to $5 or something crazy.
I used to use the real chicken too.
Back down to $3.50. Now it's just horses.
Yep. Donkey.
And some other stuff.
Now
they've got these McPops or something, which I don't even know what they fucking are.
Like McBites?
No. They're like desserts. I think they're like, I don't know. They kind of look like the macaron things that they sell, but it's not. They're just like soft, puffy things.
Mochi?
I don't know.
Georgia loves those fucking things.
There's like stuff in the middle. There's like one of them Biscoff.
Okay.
There's a strawberry one and something else.
Yeah, no thanks.
They're I think $2 each.
Yeah.
And they've got a $4 sausage McMuffin, which is quite good actually. I did like that one.
It's crazy that a McMuffin is $4.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, a little bit, but I mean it was like $5.50 before, so
I don't eat Macca's. Macca's is my least eaten.
I quite like a sausage McMuffin actually for breakfast.
Double sausage is the way to go.
Yeah. With a bit of tomato sauce.
See, I'm a barbecue guy, but I'm with you. I get you. People that get the bacon and egg get fucked.
Nah,
you got to go the sausage.
Well, the bacon and eggs just shit from
basic,
Macca's.
and the bacon's always 8 hours old.
Yeah, the bacon's always poor. The eggs not great.
Whereas even though the sausage is shit, at least it's been sitting in its own juice.
Well, you get all the oils and
all the bad
it's probably not good for you, but it makes it juicy.
They're just dipping it in the oil before serving. That looks fresh. Now you got KFC listed here.
KFC, they've got a new burger.
What are they doing?
They've got, obviously everyone knows a Zinger burger. They've got a cheesy Zinger burger now, which is a Zinger burger with a bit of cheese.
For fuck's sake. Moving on from that.
No, it's a slice of cheese.
Yeah.
And they're using cheesy sauce as well, I believe as well.
I hate that.
And they're using like a spicy tomato sauce as well.
Lost me.
I got that today.
I'm sick of the cheese sauce.
I got that today,
everywhere.
but they didn't put the cheesy sauce on it, so it was just a normal zinger burger with a slice of cheese. And it took like 20 minutes for them to make it because I ordered from the self-serve machine.
Yeah.
But it didn't transfer to the window, or
God.
maybe it did, and they just fucking got rid of it.
Fuck this bloke. Yeah.
But I paid for it, and then I was waiting there for about 10 minutes. I'm like, mate, where's my food? They're like, well, what'd you order? I'm like, the cheesy zinger thingy. And they're like, they're looking through the machine, and they're like, no, we don't have it. I'm like, well, I fucking ordered it. They're like, well, do you have any proof of that? I'm like, fuck, you didn't give me a receipt or anything. I just fucking paid for it.
That's fucking hilarious.
Give me my food, you cunt.
That's so funny.
And anyway, they did. And it was just, they didn't even give me the right food at first. I had to fight for it. Literally, I was over the counter, just swinging.
Had him by the scruff of the neck. You listen here.
Where's my potato and gravy? Because they're like, oh, didn't you ask for a combo? I'm like, no, it was a box. They're like, because they gave it to me. I'm like, where's my chicken? They're like, oh, what do you mean? I'm like, my fucking chicken that comes with the box. And they're like, but you ordered a combo. I'm like, no, I fucking didn't. Give me my fucking food.
That's hilarious.
Anyway, so not a big fan of KFC at the moment. I'll be the one writing comments, I'll tell you.
Now, have you got a question of the week?
No.
Because if you don't, I've got, it's not a question, but I've got predictions of the next match.
Right.
I want 2 hot takes for the next test.
Right.
Mine, Marnus will score 100.
Yep.
And the second one was also funny that you're better the week. Lion having a man of the match like performance. It's actually fucking wild.
Yeah.
So those are my 2. Marnus will score 100 at some point this next test, and Lion will he'll have a man of the match like performance.
I like it.
What are your 2 takeaways or predictions, hot takes?
I think Carey will score a 50.
Yep.
Potentially a 50 in both innings. I think Adelaide Oval is home track. I think he'll do well. And I think, Lion will do well as well, as we talked about in my bet of the week.
Yep.
But I won't copy you. I'll go something a bit different. And I think Rohit Sharma is going to come back, and I think he'll score under 10 in both innings.
Oh, that's actually a spicy take.
Yep.
The most perfect batsman for that pink ball. You think he's under 10?
Under 10.
I like it.
Yeah.
That is spicy.
Yeah.
That's and this isn't a side bet, but I'm hoping McSweeney can break the cycle and hit a 50.
I don't think he will.
I'm hoping.
I think he'll get out cheaply in both innings as well.
All right, that's it from me. Have you got anything else, Dad?
That is it.
Remember, like, share, subscribe, whatever the fuck they say. Do all that stuff.
Do the stuff.
Again, thanks for listening to us. Indians, you have 14 days. Enjoy it. Once that second test starts, you can't give a shit.
Yep.
It resets.
It resets.
So go nuts. Go nuts. We love you, but go nuts.
We don't love you.
Well, Will doesn't love
I
you.
don't.
I partially like you.
I really don't.
Not right now, but like...
I can't stand yous.
All right, goodbye.